What's up, everybody? It is Broken Havoc here, right here on the Broken Havoc podcast, here to review Monday Night Raw from September 20th, 2021. I'm doing my Raw review on a Thursday. On a Friday, I might add. Not a Thursday, on a Friday, I might add. It's extremely late, but I wanted to get Raw out of the way because I didn't cover wrestling all week last week, and I want to get every show that I cover down this week and for the foreseeable future as well. This is going to be a little different today. This episode is going to be a little different. I'm not only going to be discussing the entire Raw show, but we got a pay-per-view this Sunday. Yes, we got a pay-per-view this Sunday. We got Extreme Rules, and I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for that pay-per-view. So, stay here after I review Raw because I'm going to be talking about my predictions for Extreme Rules. Honestly, it's a pay-per-view that nobody gives a shit about. I'm going to be 100% honest. It's a pay-per-view that nobody gives a shit about. There was barely any build on this Raw show whatsoever. They hot-shotted a lot of stuff on this Raw show. I'm going to be 100% honest. I mean, we had Roman Reigns on the show, which is great. I mean, it should be an indication that WWE should end the brand split, and I'm going to be talking about that later on in the show. And, of course, we got Big E as the new WWE champion. Quick thoughts on Raw last week. I thought Raw last week was not a good show at all. But with the exception of Big E winning the WWE Championship last week, I thought Big E winning the title was really good. Big E absolutely deserves it. Let me turn on this light on a little bit. But Big E absolutely deserves it, in my opinion. He's been busting his ass for all these years. He finally got his moment, and he's the current WWE champion. I'm happy for Big E. I think he deserves it, and that's that. But booking-wise, last week I thought the show was terrible, and this week it's no different. It's the same old shit every week. We had a lot of rematches on this show, and as usual on Raw reviews, I like to call the show Rematchamania because that's what Raw is almost every week. It's Rematchamania every freaking week, and it's ridiculous. They need to stop booking like that. Not only that, they keep on hot-shotting a lot of shit. They hot-shotted a lot on this show. We had a triple threat match that was announced on the show. They didn't even advertise it. It was announced on the show with Bobby Lashley, Big E, and Roman Reigns main eventing the show, which I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. It's not a good thought. I thought the match was great. My only issue is the fact that they announced it during the show instead of advertising it. But I'll talk about that later on in the show. We got Extreme Rules coming up this Sunday on Peacock or the WWE Network, whatever you want to call it. What are my thoughts on that show real quick? I'm not really as excited as a lot of people. I don't even think a lot of people are excited for Extreme Rules, to be 100% honest. I don't think they recognize that Extreme Rules is this Sunday, but honestly, I honestly have no interest in this pay-per-view at all because of the fact that there was barely any build for that pay-per-view on this show. The majority of the matches that I'm interested in are happening on the SmackDown side. On the Raw side, forget about it. There's just nothing that interests me on the Raw side of things for Extreme Rules. But I'm going to get on with the Raw review. The show kicks off with Big E and The New Day. So The New Day is finally reunited. The New Day is back together. We get a bunch. We get really loud. You deserve a chance for Big E. Big E says, today is not November 25th, but he is here to give thanks. He gives thanks to everyone who chanted New Day rocks. And even the ones that chanted New Day sucks, he forgives us. He thanks everyone that supported him when he won the Money in the Bank contract. He's when everybody lost their minds. He's grateful, I should say. He's grateful that everybody lost their minds when he became the WWE champion. And he thanks. This was actually one of my favorite lines in his promo. So he says that he thanks one man above, and then all of a sudden, he didn't even mention his name, but you knew who he was talking about, and lo and behold, we get Brody chants. So he basically thanked Brody Lee, God rest his soul. I mean, that was awesome to see. I mean, we got loud Brody chants in the arena after Big E stated that, so that was great to hear. Because Big E and Brody Lee were extremely close with one another when they were both in the WWE. But then he says they got to cut the celebration early because they got some business to take care of. Says Raw is their show, and they will send the Bloodline packing because New Day rocks. Then the crowd chants New Day rocks after that. Then what happens? Roman's music hits. The Bloodline are arriving, or the Bloodline finally arrives on Raw. This is actually the first time that Roman Reigns is on Raw, not only ever since his heel turn last year, but ever since he got drafted to SmackDown, I believe. Well, no, he did go to Raw a couple times due to the wild card rule, but like this is like the first time that Roman Reigns comes to Raw with this persona. Overall thoughts on it, I mean, like, look, I'm happy that Roman Reigns is on Raw because at least it's something new for the show. But at the same time, you have to look at it from another perspective in which, it kind of doesn't make sense because you're under a brand split. And WWE, I guarantee you, WWE will be like, oh yeah, it's the brand to brand invitational. But the problem with that is that they barely mention that every week. They mention that like once every 2 months. Like that's when they mentioned the whole brand to brand invitational. But having Roman Reigns on Raw, honestly, if this is going to be a current trend, because I know for a fact they're going to bring in Roman Reigns on Raw for the next few weeks. I may be wrong with that, but like honestly, I feel like, ending the brand split is probably the most logical choice because let's be 100% real. Like, I've always been an advocate of the brand split. I've always been a supporter of the brand split because I think if you do it right, it can work. The problem with WWE is that they cannot make Raw and SmackDown separate rosters, and just because they have different wrestlers and different colors doesn't mean they're separate rosters. I mean, I'm talking about format of the show. I'm talking about the way the show is booked. Both shows are booked exactly the same. Both Raw and SmackDown are booked exactly the same, and honestly, there's no difference between the two rosters. It's the same bullshit every week. So, like, there's no difference. Be honest with yourself. There's no difference with Raw and SmackDown, and I felt like the brand split died ever since they killed off the brand exclusive pay-per-views. They should have kept that, in my opinion. How come? So the main reason why WWE killed off the brand exclusive pay-per-views was because of the fact that they had low attendance. And first off, I ask myself this question: why did WWE can the brand exclusive pay-per-views for Raw and SmackDown, yet every single takeover for NXT sells out? That's something you have to ask yourself. I mean, like, you can clearly see that brand exclusive pay-per-views work with NXT and their takeovers, but on the main roster, it's a different story because it's under different management that doesn't even know what the hell they're doing. And this is coming from somebody that doesn't even watch NXT. Like, one takeover I can literally name off the top of my head, Takeover New York, by far one of the best pay-per-views and one of the best shows I've seen because every match on the show mattered. You had the War Raiders versus Aleister Black and Ricochet in the opener of the match. Oh my God, the crowd in Brooklyn was fucking awesome. And, you really have to look at it from a perspective in which, the brand exclusive pay-per-views could have worked if you had booked the shows correctly. SmackDown had something going for it, but then you decided to kill it off by putting the belt on Jinder Mahal. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion with things, and it's the cold hard truth. The brand split died once they killed off the brand exclusive pay-per-views, and it died even further when you introduced the wild card rule, and that was a whole problem because you keep on messing with your own rules. So what are they going to be doing here? They're bringing in guys from SmackDown with no explanation whatsoever. What is the point? Why are you bringing in? You have to explain the viewer why are you bringing in Roman Reigns to Raw if you're under a brand split. And I feel like this is going to be a common thing every week when it comes to Roman Reigns. And, who knows what's going to happen. But we get the advertised match. So we get the advertised match of the New Day versus the Bloodline. It is a 6-man tag team match. And by the way, the match was really good. My only problem with the match was the finish and basically the aftermath of this whole 6-man tag. Because honestly, I thought it was pure stupidity on WWE's part. But I thought the match itself was really good. Again, I'm going to rephrase myself. I thought the match was really good. I just think that, you can't just hotshot shit for no reason just because you want to garner a rating because it's no long-term plan. If you want to make your show good, you need to have a long-term plan, and that's what AEW is doing so well, is that they have a long-term plan. They're going to be having a match with Kenny Omega and Adam Page in which the story has been progressing ever since the inception of AEW. Now, I remember when everybody thought that they were going to be wrestling at All Out, I was like, I think it's a little too early for them to... Here's the thing. I thought it was a little too early, but I'm going to be 100% honest. I mean, it didn't happen, and because of the fact that they brought in Bryan and Punk. But this whole thing with Adam Page and Kenny Omega has been building since the inception of AEW. Period. That is long-term storytelling. In this case, when it comes to Roman Reigns, just putting him on Raw for no apparent reason whatsoever, what is the long-term plan here? I'm going to give you the answer. There's no long-term plan because WWE just wants to garner a high rating, and all they care about is putting out content and not caring about the quality of the show. That is their mentality with things, and it sucks, but it is what it is. But we got the Bloodline and the New Day. I'm gonna be going through the match. So Jimmy and Kofi Kingston start. We get a side headlock by Jimmy Uso. We get a shoulder tackle by Jimmy. Kofi goes to the corner and then he hits a drop kick. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Xavier Woods tags in after that, and then we get a running kick by Kofi. Woods hits a clothesline and then hits an elbow drop. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Big E tags in. He hits a clothesline and then we get a cover and a near fall. He works on Jimmy Uso after that. We get a right hand by Jimmy and then Jay tags in. We get a right hand by Jay as well, and then we get a slam by Jay. Kofi at this point is the legal man. We get a crossbody by Kofi Kingston. We get a cover and a near fall. Jimmy tags in and then we get a double team attempt by the Usos. Then we get a kick by Kofi Kingston after that. Then Roman takes out, I believe it was Kofi Kingston, and he does take out Kofi, because I put Roman takes out Roman on my notes and I messed up on that. But so this is the thing about this part. So what I liked about this was that Roman was on the apron. He wasn't legal at all. But I tweeted this out during the match, and I'm going to be 100% honest here. Roman Reigns went from 0 to 100 when he fucking took out Kofi Kingston in that match. He literally took him out. He hit his head first on the announce table, then sent him to the ring post, and then threw him over the announce table, and then we go to commercial break. Dude, Roman Reigns, again, he went from 0 to 100. That is fucking crazy. But, so yeah, once we're back from break, the Usos are working on Kofi Kingston. They're under control in the match. Then Kofi takes Jay up and over. Kofi tries to make the tag, but then Jimmy tags in. Then he super kicks Woods, and then we get a knee by Jey Uso. We get a stomp from the top by Kofi on Jimmy. Then we get the hot tag made by both Big E and Roman Reigns. And at this point, the crowd goes apeshit for both because they are your two top guys on each brand, even though Big E is technically a SmackDown guy. But you know what? Rules don't apply in the WWE, so it is what it is. But it was an awesome moment. You had both just face off, and the crowd just goes apeshit. Really cool to see. I enjoyed it. Big E hits a belly-to-belly suplex 3 times on Roman Reigns, and he does that later on in the triple threat match. And then Jey Uso hits a clothesline. Reigns plants Big E to the mat. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Big E catches Roman from doing the Superman punch by planting him to the mat. Then he hits a splash. Then Big E tries to hit the big ending, but Woods tags in after that. Kofi gets thrown onto the Usos on the outside. Roman then hits a Superman punch. Woods is legal. We get a bunch of super kicks by Xavier Woods. Woods covers Roman. We get a near fall. Then Lashley spears Big E on the outside. And then he takes Kofi and throws him to the ring post and then takes out both Usos. Roman then hits a spear on Xavier Woods. We get a cover, and the Bloodline wins the match. So, again, I just read through it, but I'm going to be straight up. Lashley was interfering in this. What are my thoughts on Lashley interfering? Yeah, that is an issue for me because of the fact that, this match was going so well and you advertised this match just to garner a rating. And then, in the middle of the show, you were like, oh my God, we got a good idea. Let's book a triple threat match while the show's on the air. First off, you didn't need to have Bobby Lashley interfere in the match because the match was fine as it is. Now, I understand that Big E took the title away from Lashley. That's the story that they're trying to tell. But at the same time, the problem that I have with that is the fact that, you could have done that, with Big E in a separate segment or something like that. You didn't need to have Bobby Lashley interfere in the match. What was the point? Because the match was going on so well. Whenever a match gets really good, WWE tends to kill it when it comes to by bringing in some sort of wrestler to interfere in the match and then cause a DQ. Now in this case, this match did not end in a DQ. The Bloodline won the match, but still, Bobby Lashley did not, and I mean this wholeheartedly, did not need to interfere in the match. That's just my opinion. All right, we get Lashley backstage, and he meets up with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. He complains about both Biggie and Roman Reigns, blah, blah, blah. Then Randy Orton is backstage prepping for his match against Riddle. He's going up against AJ Styles once again. Yes, he's going up. Randy Orton is going up against AJ Styles again. Like, I do not know why. How many times we've seen that match? Like, honestly, how many times have we seen that match? There's no reason whatsoever to have that match at all. Like, honestly, how many weeks we've seen that? You can literally look up Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, and you'll be like, damn, they've done this how many weeks on Raw? I have previous notes on Raw that I keep my notes for Raw. I keep my notes for Raw, and I will literally keep count on how many times we've seen Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. I honestly wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE booked Randy Orton versus AJ Styles next week. These guys know how to work, but, like, I mean, you can't just overexpose everything. That's a tendency that WWE does all the freaking time. They love overexposing everything, and that's the problem that WWE has right now. They overexpose everything. But Riddle keeps talking about, like, whatever the hell he's talking about, your typical Riddle promo, while Randy Orton is prepping. And then Orton tells Riddle to keep Omos busy, and Orton says he's going to break a few of AJ's ribs. And then all of a sudden, after Randy Orton cuts that little promo, he's like, oh yeah, and by the way, headphones are cool. So you got stuff right there. We got another rematch before we get on with Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. We got Doudrop versus Eva Marie. We've seen this match like 3 times. Why are we getting this match again? Why are we getting this match? Like, I don't understand. How many times have we got to see Doudrop versus Eva Marie? What is the point of rematches? Because if you're booking a lot of rematches for Raw, like, it's not like wins and losses matter on this show, because wins and losses absolutely do not matter. All WWE does is 50-50 booking everything and hot-shotting everything. And yes, other podcasters have stated this, but I 100% agree. They're hot-shotting everything. And then, you know, you got Doudrop versus Eva Marie. Like, how many times do we have to see this? Like, we don't have to see this at all. We really do not. Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. We do not have to see this. But it's WWE booking for you. So Eva Marie cuts a promo before the match even starts. So basically, she grabs the mic and says, she is not the one for shaming, but take a look at her and her again, and look at Doudrop. Then she is put together, and Doudrop is a mess. Girls like her can never be a woman like Eva Marie. And then the match starts. The match is extremely short. Eva runs away. Doudrop chases Eva Marie. Doudrop grabs Eva. We got a couple of forearms by Eva. Doudrop catches Eva. Then we get a senton by Doudrop. And then we get a crossbody by Doudrop. And we get a cover. 1, 2, 3. Doudrop wins the match, or Doudrop, whatever the hell you want to call her. I'm going to call her Piper Niven because I didn't even know who she was. Apparently she was on NXT UK, but everybody's calling her Piper Niven because that's her actual wrestling name, Piper Niven. So I'm just going to be calling her Piper Niven. You know, this whole Doudrop name is extremely stupid. But, yeah. What was honestly the whole point of this match? There was no point of this match whatsoever. Honestly, it really, I wanted to fall asleep while watching this match, to be 100% honest. How come you have the best wrestlers in the world in AEW, and, you know, they're booking the best show on television right now, and then you got WWE who's just doing some dumb shit? Like, you know, I want, you know, I support WWE 100%, but my problem with these people is that, you know, the shows are bad, and it's really embarrassing, and the reason why it's embarrassing is because of the fact that WWE is the industry leader. WWE is the industry leader in pro wrestling, and they could say sports entertainment, whatever the hell they want, but they're in the professional wrestling business. These people are ashamed of the business that they're in, and it's literally mind-boggling to me. You know, they are the industry leader in this business, and they can't even book a good show on a Monday night after having this show on the air for over 25 fucking years. This is ridiculous. You know, how come you're having this match? We had this match like 3 times or 4 times already. What is the point of it? What is honestly the whole point of this match? I'll give you my answer. There's no point whatsoever. So why should I, the viewer, be invested and spending my time watching this? Honestly, I'm going to ask you, the viewer, that. Why should I spend my time watching this show? The only answer is that I shouldn't. I shouldn't spend my time watching this show because it's embarrassing to watch. It is legitimately embarrassing to watch this show. It's embarrassing to watch. And if you compare like a lot of WWE shows right now, like again, I've always stated, and I will stand by this, SmackDown is the A show. SmackDown right now is the A show, period. Raw is the B show. I don't even want to call it the B show, bro. I'm going to call it the F show. I'm going to call it the F show because Raw is a 100% F. I'll give Raw an F because Raw is an F every week. SmackDown, I'll give it, every week. There's some weeks where I'd give it a D. There's some weeks I'd give it a C. And there's other weeks that I'd give it a B or sometimes even an A. SmackDown is not that bad of a show in my opinion. Now, they got the same booking problems like this show has, but I feel like Raw is worse. Like, it's way worse. It's legitimately way worse. And, the draft is going to be coming up and people are like, oh, things are going to get better, but it's going to be right back to square one even after the draft. It's going to be right back to square one, and we're going to have constant rematches just with new wrestlers. That is it. So, I mean, that's just my opinion on that. I mean, I just how come you're the industry leader and you don't even know how to book? That's ridiculous. Wrestling, you don't need writers in wrestling. I don't know if you guys understand this, but you don't need writers in wrestling. You really do not need writers in wrestling. You can just give them bullet points and boom. You give them a whole thing to speak their mind out. There's a clear difference between writers and bookers. The bookers book the matches and basically just talk about the outcomes and that's it. The writers literally do everything moment by moment by moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. You really do not need writers in wrestling. WWE is the only wrestling company in the world that has writers. You do not need writers in wrestling. You need bookers. You don't need writers, period. You don't need writers. You need bookers. And the writers ain't bookers. Trust me, they ain't bookers. But whatever. Writers. You don't need writers in wrestling. You don't need writers in wrestling, period. We get Big E backstage with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. He says he wants Bobby Lashley and Roman tonight. Okay, that's my problem. Why are you hot-shotting this match? Every podcaster has stated this. Every single podcaster has stated this, period. Don't quote me on this. I didn't come up with it. A lot of other podcasters have stated this. A lot of people in the IWC on Twitter have stated this. And I absolutely agree. Why are you hot-shotting this match? The match was amazing. It was great. You just did not need to book this match for Raw. I'll tell you why they booked this match. It's because they lost in the 18-49 demo to AEW Dynamite, and they knew that they were going to have Grand Slam on Wednesday, so they're like, oh yeah, we need to have a big main event. Look, I've stated this. Well, I don't think I have stated this in the channel, but competition is good for the wrestling business. Competition is good for the wrestling business. But there's a clear difference between long-term storytelling and hot shot booking. There's a clear difference. There's an absolute clear difference with hot shot booking and actually having long-term storytelling. Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, and Big E having a triple threat match was completely reactionary. And Cody Rhodes has stated this in an interview with Collider a couple of years ago. This was actually a couple months before Dynamite actually debuted on TNT. And I agree. AEW is focusing on themselves, and WWE is completely reactionary with everything, and this is a pure example of this. It was an example when NXT moved to USA Network and expanded to 2 hours, and this is another case of them being reactionary. WWE is being reactionary because they know they have AEW breathing down their neck. Maybe not in ratings, and look, I'm not going to say that the WWE is going to go out of business because you'd be a fool if you think the WWE is going to go out of business. Bro, these people, the WWE is going to exist until they're going to exist while our grandkids are alive. Like, literally. The WWE is going to exist forever. I'm just saying that AEW right now, the momentum is on them. It may not be ratings-wise, but creatively, WWE is losing. Creatively, WWE is losing, but AEW is kicking their ass creatively. And they're right there. Grand Slam recently just the rating for Grand Slam did 1.2. I don't even know what number Raw did. I think it was like a 1.5 5, 6, or 7. I think it was a 1.7. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, Dynamite is reaching 1 million viewers every week. That is good for them. That is really good for TNT and the Turner Networks. And you know what? Honestly, for WWE to be, again, the WWE being the industry leader and not knowing how to book a good show is embarrassing. It's clearly embarrassing. We got Paul Heyman after that backstage with Sonya and Adam Pearce. He's basically complaining about Big E and Bobby Lashley. He announces a triple, and then they actually make the triple threat match official. Blah blah blah. I could care less. The match was great. I'm not gonna lie. I loved the match. The match was really, 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 really good. I just don't like the fact that not only that, it's not even like the hot shotting. It's the fact that they didn't even advertise it. If you were gonna book this match, even though it doesn't make sense creatively, you could have literally advertised this match instead of advertising the New Day versus the Bloodline. Instead of advertising that match, why don't you advertise the triple threat match? That's just my opinion on things. Like, you gotta think, but these people do not think. You have to think, but they do not think. We got Randy Orton versus AJ Styles in another rematch. I'm not gonna lie, this match was really good. Randy Orton and AJ Styles have really good chemistry in the ring, but we've seen how many times we've seen this match. We've seen this match for weeks now. Hell, I've seen this match 2 years ago live at MetLife Stadium at WrestleMania 35. Like, what is the point of this match? There is no point of this match whatsoever. Period. There's no point of this match whatsoever at all. But the match starts. Both lock up. Orton works on the hand of Styles. We get a kick by AJ. Sends Orton to the corner. We get a kick by Orton. And then Orton then hits a suplex. We get a cover and a 1 count. At this point, Orton is in control. We get a couple of stomps by Orton. We get a cover and a 2 count. Omos then trips Orton without the... the referee actually saw it. And then Omos eventually kicked Omos out. Riddle is celebrating when Omos is about to leave. But what happens is that Omos just hits a freaking uppercut on Riddle. Then Styles from behind takes out Orton. We get a forearm by Styles. Once we're back from commercial break, we get a chop block by Styles. Styles runs into the middle turnbuckle. We get a clothesline by Orton, and then we get repeated rights by Orton. Styles proceeds to fight back, and then we get a right hand by Orton. Orton then hits an uppercut. We get a kick by Styles, and then a power slam by Orton. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Orton then takes Styles up to the top rope. We get a right hand by Orton, but Styles escapes. Then he hits a clothesline. Orton hits a clothesline on Styles. Then AJ tries to go for the phenomenal forearm, but Orton counters. Then Styles counters back with a sleeper hold after that. Then Orton takes Styles to the corner. We get a boot by Styles. He misses. Styles misses a tornado DDT. Then Orton throws Styles across the ring. We get a cover and a near fall after that. Then Styles fights off Orton. Then Styles hits his traditional phenomenal blitz. We get that famous Pele kick by AJ Styles. We get a cover and a near fall. Orton then counters the sunset flip. We get a cover and a near fall. Styles hits a forearm, and then he hits a springboard moonsault from the middle rope, that being AJ Styles. AJ Styles is awesome. At his age doing that, balls to the wall. I really enjoyed that. But another move that I just want. I know he doesn't do this move anymore, but I really want to see AJ Styles hit the spiral tap again. He needs to hit that fucking spiral tap. Just hit the spiral tap for once. AJ, if you're watching this video, look, I don't think he's watching this video. Honestly, I only have 30 subscribers, but who cares? Hit the spiral tap, please. Hit the spiral tap. But then Styles, after that, he misses a kick to Riddle. Then what happens is that Styles is on the apron. Styles is about to go for the phenomenal forearm, but what happens, he tricks Orton into thinking that Orton was about to hit the RKO. We've seen this many times when they were wrestling. Orton then catches Styles, hits the DDT, RKO by Orton, 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins the match. Overall thoughts on this match? Again, this match was a really good match. Again, both guys have really good chemistry with one another. My only problem with this match is the fact that we've seen this match already. So what honestly was the point of this match? There's no reason to book this match on Raw because we've seen it already. And I wouldn't be surprised if they booked it again. We got one match that was pretty terrible. We got Shannon Basler versus Nia Jax. Honestly, this match was pretty terrible. Nia Jax was screaming like crazy, in which I didn't care. We got Nia scream. So basically, before the match even starts, Nia Jax was like, "I made you." She tells Shayna, "I made you." I laughed my ass off when she said that. Then we get a splash in the corner by Nia. Both fight it out. We got a couple of kicks by Shayna. Shayna then hits a knee. We got a second kick by Basler. We got a clutch by Basler. Nia drops Shayna, but she still holds on to the sleeper. Then Nia passes out. Shayna Basler wins the match. Then all of a sudden, Shayna attacks Nia Jax after that. She takes the hand of Nia onto the steel steps and then stomps on the left arm of Nia Jax onto the steel steps. Nia begs for her to stop, and then Nia stomps on Nia again. Yeah. So there's a lot of crap going on between Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Honestly, I don't know why they were a tag team to begin with. They shouldn't be a tag team at all. But hey, maybe this is a main event run for Shayna Baszler. I mean, it can be too little, too late, but I wouldn't mind having Shayna Baszler be put in the main event scene for the women because she is a main event caliber talent. She is a main event caliber talent. That is Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is main event status. Period. We get Mansoor and Ali versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. So, hey, at least, hey, look, at least this is something new and we don't see Mansoor and Ali versus T-Bar and Mace. Because how many times we've seen that shit? Like, how many times we've seen that? We've seen that multiple freaking times, honestly. It's ridiculous. We get a drop kick by Angel Garza. We get a double team attempt by Garza and Humberto. We get a cover by Humberto and a near fall. Humberto works on Ali. Ali fights back, but Humberto gets the advantage. Ali with an amazing swinging DDT after that. Mansoor tags in. Mansoor hits an Inseguri. Then Ali tags in. We get a double team attempt by Ali and Mansoor. Then Humberto takes out Mansoor to the barricade. Ali then takes Humberto to the barricade as well. Then he takes Garza. No, Garza takes Ali to the ring post. We got a drop kick by Garza on Ali. We get a cover, and Angel Garza and Humberto win the match. They won the match, and honestly, do not care. This is a throwaway match in my opinion. I just did not care. We get a video package of Karrion Kross, just cutting your typical Karrion Kross promo. Then we get Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. They basically were cutting a promo on Connor's cure, which is for a good cause. I'm not going to be crapping all over this because there's no reason for me or for you to be crapping all over this. You may not like the gimmick that Nikki ASH has, but I will admit, this whole thing with Connor's cure and all that stuff is it helps people, and I think we should be happy about that. And this whole promo that Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley cut before the match, because they were going to be wrestling Natalie and Tamina for the women's tag team titles, and you would assume that they would win the tag team titles, and which they did. And they cut a whole promo talking about Connor's cure and all that, and you know what? It's for a great cause and great promo, and they showed emotion in that, and you know what? It's great to see. It's great to see, and it's for a really good cause. So I have no problem with that whatsoever. But we get Nikki ASH versus Natalie and Tamina for the women's tag team championships. So this match didn't take long either. It didn't take long at all. We get a double team attempt by Natalia and Tamina. Tamina takes Rhea to the outside. We get repeated rights by Natalia as well. Then Tamina tags in. Tamina hits a Samoan drop, goes to the top. Nia gets her knees up. Then Natalia with a stomp and a basement dropkick on Nikki ASH. Rhea with a cannonball Tamina on the outside. We get a riptide on Tamina on the apron. We get a roll up by Nikki ASH on Natalia, and Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH win, and they are the new women's tag team champions. So congrats for them. That's great. All right, back to the show at hand. This next segment was actually a segment that I didn't know that I was actually going to enjoy, but I actually did enjoy it because they actually were talking shit to one another. And that of course is talking about Alexa Bliss, of course, Alexa's Playground with Charlotte Flair. This was a really good segment, I'm not going to lie, and I haven't been invested at all with this whole Alexa Bliss supernatural crap. Charlotte Flair, I've stated everything I've stated about Charlotte Flair. I do not care about Charlotte Flair whatsoever, but I will admit this was a really, really, really good segment for the show. In my opinion, both women absolutely just went straight out. Like, they just went balls to the wall verbally, and they were just talking shit to one another. So she welcomes Charlotte Flair. Charlotte reminds her that she was once upon a time a competitor. Then Charlotte wants she says that she wants the old Alexa Bliss. She knows that she is broken. That is why she hides behind this whole playground thing. Then she tells Alexa, how does it feel when the doll is more popular than you? Charlotte asks herself how she went from being in the main event of WrestleMania 35, which is, she was put in that match last minute. She really didn't deserve it, in my opinion, to wrestling on Raw and to playing with dolls on Raw. That was pretty funny. Then Charlotte cuts your typical Charlotte Flair promo by putting herself over, blah, blah, blah. And then Alexa states that she lost more titles than any other woman, which that's true. And then, she asks Charlotte, without the title, who is Charlotte Flair? And then, this was the best part of the whole entire segment, in my opinion. Alexa Bliss of all people, asks Charlotte Flair, where's the originality? Where's the originality? And Charlotte Flair, bruh. I mean, I'm not a fan of Charlotte Flair, but I have to agree with her on this. So Alexa Bliss asks Charlotte about the originality, and then Charlotte is like, don't even talk about originality. And that was the funniest shit ever, because everybody knows that is not Alexa Bliss's gimmick. That was a gimmick. She's basically using Bray Wyatt's gimmick. It's not her fault, and you shouldn't blame her for it. Blame management for that. But, I mean, she is using Bray Wyatt's gimmick. And the fact that they fired Bray Wyatt and they're still cashing in on his creations is ridiculous, in my opinion. But, yeah. I mean, that was pretty funny. Then, after that, Charlotte shoves Alexa. We get a boot by Charlotte. Then Charlotte rips the doll in half after that. Alexa tries to fight back, and then Alexa hits the DDT, and the segment ends. Overall thoughts on this segment, I thought this was a really, really good segment. Honestly, like the only good thing on the show, in my opinion. Really, really fantastic segment, in my opinion. And this was coming from a match that I honestly do not have any interest in. I still do not have any interest in, but at least they tried to make me care with this match, and I applaud them for that. We get R-Truth, Drake Maverick, and Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak discussing how to take out Reggie for the 24/7 championship. Honestly, I do not care about this whatsoever. It's a throwaway segment, period. We got Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. So basically, if Jeff Hardy won this match, he would be added to the match with Damien Priest and Sheamus, in which he did win. So it's now going to be a triple threat match with Sheamus versus with Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, and Damien Priest. I'm going to go through the match real quick. We got a side headlock by Sheamus. We got a shoulder tackle, and then we got a drop kick by Sheamus. Sheamus then throws Jeff Hardy to the apron. Once we're back from break, Sheamus gets sent inside the post. Then he works on Sheamus. We get a Russian leg sweep by Jeff Hardy. Hardy goes to the top, hits a frog splash. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Sheamus then counters the twist of fate after that. We get a boot by Sheamus. Then Sheamus goes to the top and then hits a clothesline off the top. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Sheamus hits a jumping knee strike. We get a cover and a near fall after that. Then we get a cover and a near fall. And then Hardy counters the bro kick into the twist of fate. Hardy goes to the top. Sheamus gets the knees up when Hardy hits the swanton bomb as a counter. But Hardy rolls up Sheamus and wins the match. Then after the match, Damien Priest, who was on commentary, by the way, just brawl it out, and then Sheamus takes a Priest to the post, and then both continue to brawl, and basically the whole match/segment ends. Overall thoughts on this match, we didn't really need to see this match, but it was not a bad match in my opinion. But it's going to be a triple threat match now for the U.S. title at Extreme Rules. Honestly, this is another match that I do not really care at all. But, hey, it's WWE for you. So we're going to have to see what happens in the future for them. But, yeah. We got the main event of the evening. We got Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns versus Big E, a match that was hot-shotted for no apparent reason whatsoever. There's no long-term story at all when it regards to this match. But I will admit, the match was really good. Lashley, Reigns, and Big E looked extremely strong. At least Lashley was not the one no, not Lashley. At least Big E was not the one to take the pinfall. It was Lashley. So technically, Big E still looks strong and Roman Reigns still looks strong. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Lashley, but at this point, Lashley's just out. But I'm going to go through the match. I thought this match was really good. It was well executed. My only problem was the fact that, number one, they hot-shotted this match out of nowhere, and number two, they didn't even advertise this match. Instead, they advertised for a six-man tag team match, which led to a triple threat match, which makes absolutely no sense in my opinion. But the match starts. Lashley and Big E brawl while Reigns is watching. Then Big E hits a splash on the apron on Lashley. Reigns then hits a shotgun dropkick on Big E on the apron. Once we're back from break, Big E reverses Lashley. We get an elbow by Big E, and then we get a cover and a near fall. Big E works on Lashley. We get a right hand by Reigns. We get a clothesline by Reigns, and then we get a cover and a near fall. Lashley catches Reigns' dropkick on the apron with a right hand. We get a cover and a near fall. Then Lashley works on both Reigns and Big E. Big E hits a Uranagi after that. Reigns catches Big E with the Samoan drop. We get a cover and a near fall. Reigns then proceeds to work on Lashley on the corner with repeated clotheslines. Then we get a right hand by Reigns. Lashley is on the top. Reigns also goes to the top. Big E takes both and drops them both with the Tower of Doom, which looked really awesome, by the way. Really awesome spot. I'd see a lot of Tower of Doom spots, and if you watch a lot of old TNA Lethal Lockdown matches, you'd see a lot of those types of moves right there. And to me, I call it the Tower of Doom because that's how it's called. But once we're back from break, Reigns is in control. He sends Big E to the corner. Then we get three belly-to-belly suplexes on Roman Reigns. Then Lashley catches Big E and sends him to the ring post. Lashley plants Reigns to the mat. Lashley then picks up Reigns, then slams Reigns. We get a cover and a near fall. Then we get a belly-to-belly suplex by Big E on Bobby Lashley. Both Lashley and Reigns are down. We get a splash by Big E on both wrestlers. We get a cover and a near fall. Big E runs into the knee of Reigns. Lashley then plants Big E to the mat. Then he takes out Lashley, that being Roman Reigns taking out Lashley. Roman goes for the cover. We get a near fall. Big E then hits the big ending out of nowhere. We get a cover and Lashley takes out Big E after that. Then Lashley then plants Big E through the announce table. Lashley is in the ring. He runs into a Superman punch by Roman Reigns. So we got a whole spot fest going on at this point. Then we get a cover and a near fall. Roman then tries to go for the spear, but Lashley instead hits a spear. We get a cover and Big E interferes. Lashley then tries to apply the hurt lock, but Big E escapes. Then we get a Superman punch by Reigns. Big E sends Reigns to the outside with a spear. Both go back in the ring. We get a big ending on Reigns. We get a cover and Lashley hits a chair. Or we get a cover and Lashley grabs a chair and then he hits repeated chair shots on Big E. Then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns hits the spear on Big E and we get a cover. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the Universal Champion, wins this triple threat match. Overall thoughts on this match, I thought this was a really good match. I loved the spots near the end, the back and forth with this match. Again, this match was really good. I enjoyed the match. The match was really good. The only problem with the match is the fact that you did not advertise it and you just hotshotted it out of nowhere. That was the only problem, and there's no long-term plan whatsoever for this match. That is my main problem when it regards to this match, in my opinion. It's just the truth. In my opinion, it's the absolute truth. But yeah, that was my Raw review. Overall thoughts on Raw. I thought Raw was not that good of a show, in my opinion. I thought, besides I would say the triple threat match was good. It's just my problem with it was the fact that it was booked on that show. And not only that, a lot of people say, oh, but AEW does a lot of big matches on television, and you complain that WWE does it. Yeah, yes, I do complain about WWE doing it. You know why? It's because AEW only has 4 pay-per-views a year. 4 pay-per-views a year. How many pay-per-views a year does WWE have? 12. 12 pay-per-views a year. Honestly, that whole 12 pay-per-view format is ridiculous because we have a pay-per-view this Sunday, which I'm about to go over the predictions for, and honestly, a lot of people do not care about this show. A lot of people do not care about the show, and rightfully so. But that was my Raw review for September 20th, 2021. My apologies for getting out this Raw review late, but hopefully I'm going to get down my Raw reviews as early as possible from now on. Thoughts on the show is that this show was pretty bad besides the whole segment, besides the whole match itself, the whole triple threat match itself, and the whole segment with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, and that's it. Now, we're going to be going through my Extreme Rules predictions video. So, I'm going to be talking about Extreme Rules. Yes, Extreme Rules is this Sunday on the WWE Network on Peacock, and I'm going to be honest, while I was watching Raw, I had no idea that the pay-per-view was on this Sunday. I knew that Extreme Rules was coming up, I just did not know when, and I was like, wait, the pay-per-view is this Sunday? Bro, they barely had any build for Extreme Rules on Raw this past Monday. There's barely any build whatsoever for that show, and that was the issue with it. That was like my main issue with everything. But I'm going to be talking about Extreme Rules. The first match I'm going to be talking about is Damien Priest versus Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy for the U.S. heavyweight title, as Tony Schiavone would state back in the WCW days. So we got Jeff Hardy, Damien Priest, and Sheamus for the U.S. title. Overall thoughts on this match, I think this match is going to be the opener for this match. It's either going to be this match or the tag team match with the Usos and the Street Profits. Honestly, the whole Raw side of the Extreme Rules card is absolutely terrible. For me, there's no interest whatsoever when it comes to basically, the Raw side. We don't even have a WWE Championship match for this show. We do not have a WWE Originally, it was supposed to be Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley, but we got that match last week on Raw, so honestly, what is the point of it? You know what I mean? But we got Damien Priest versus Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy in a triple threat match. Honestly, who do I think is going to be winning this match? I do believe that Damien Priest is going to be retaining the U.S. title because of the fact that, I'm just tired of seeing Sheamus as the U.S. champion and Jeff Hardy. I do not see, Jeff Hardy winning a title anytime soon, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just being 100% honest. But my prediction for this match is Damien Priest is going to be retaining the U.S. title in this match. The next match we got is from SmackDown. It is Liv Morgan versus Carmela. Another match that I really do not care about. A match from SmackDown. Honestly, I honestly have that belief that Liv Morgan is a main event caliber wrestler. I do believe she should be the SmackDown Women's Champion in the future. I just do not like the storylines that she's put in. Honestly, Carmela, I'm just not, I'm not really as invested with Carmela as I used to be, in my opinion. But my overall thoughts on this match, who do I think is going to be winning this match? I think it's pretty obvious that Liv Morgan is going to be winning this match. I don't think there's any buts or ifs. I think Liv Morgan is going to be winning this match because she is primarily the babyface, and it makes the perfect sense in my opinion. Honestly, Carmela, I could care less. The next match we got is a match that we've seen on SmackDown many, many times, but I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about this match because they have really good chemistry in the ring. It is the Usos defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, of course, the Usos being aligned with Roman Reigns, part of the Bloodline, going up against Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford of the Street Profits. We've seen this match many times on SmackDown, and sometimes I tend to question why are we getting this match on the pay-per-view. But I will admit, this match I do believe is going to be a really, really good match because of the fact that I've stated earlier that these two tag teams have really good chemistry with one another. And not only that, it's going to be great seeing Montez Ford wrestle on pay-per-view. I'm a big fan of Montez Ford. Montez Ford, in my opinion, the way he wrestles is amazing. This guy is one of the best in-ring performers in WWE right now on the main roster, period. I don't even watch NXT anymore. I never watched NXT a lot. NXT has some. I didn't even watch NXT when they were popular, but from what I saw of NXT had the better wrestling of the main roster. As somebody that watched the main roster more than I did NXT, but Montez Ford, the way this dude wrestles, is one of the best that I've seen. Montez Ford is amazing at what he does. I'd be marking out over freaking Montez Ford of all things, man. But Montez Ford is really good. But back to the match. Who do I think is going to be winning this match? Honestly, I do see the Usos retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships because of the fact that they're aligned with Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is not losing that title anytime soon as well. And the Bloodline is going to be reigning supreme throughout SmackDown, or probably, if WWE decides to end the brand split, all of WWE. Those are my thoughts on that match. I do believe that the Usos are going to be retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and I do think it's going to be a really good match. In my opinion, I do think it's going to be a really, really good match. The next match we got is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So we got Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. Again, another match that I really did not give a shit about, even after that really good segment that they had this past Monday on Raw. I'm not really as invested in this match, even though the crowd reactions are really good, especially like the crowd is definitely in Alexa Bliss's favor. But I'm going to be honest, I just do not care about this match at all. A part of me is going to say that Alexa Bliss is probably going to be winning the Raw Women's Championship in this match, but another part of me is thinking that, she's not going to be winning the Raw Women's Championship in this match, but that is just me. But I honestly, who knows? But my main prediction for this match, the outcome that I think is going to be happening, unfortunately, it's probably going to be Charlotte Flair retaining the Raw Women's Championship, because I don't think she's losing that title anytime soon. So those are my thoughts on that. The next match, we got a match that I'm pretty excited to see, a match that we should have gotten in full at SummerSlam, but WWE decided to be lazy because they're dumbasses, is a heel Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Of course, Becky Lynch is defending her SmackDown Women's Championship. I think this match is going to be really good. Again, we should have seen this match in full at SummerSlam, but WWE decided to be extremely lazy and act all stupid and shit. But I think the match is going to be really good. What happened at SummerSlam, it really made Bianca Belair, and keep in mind, Bianca Belair is a babyface. It makes her look extremely dumb, and then the viewer that is watching the show is going to be like, yeah, I don't believe in her because she lost the 2 seconds to Becky Lynch. You know what I mean? The viewer just disenfranchises. My words are getting mixed up. Disenfranchised from Bianca Belair because of that. And Bianca Belair is the babyface. It makes absolutely no sense. And the whole outcome of SummerSlam, like, you can say, it's only storytelling, but at the same time, it really does make Bianca Belair look stupid. You can't make a babyface look like that. You have to make your babyface look strong in order to grab the viewer's attention. And Bianca Belair is great. I'm a huge Bianca Belair fan, and I think she had a really good 2021. I'm just saying, the way, and it's not really Bianca Belair's fault, is it's management, because they don't even know what the hell they're doing with her. And the fact that they had her losing 2 seconds to Becky Lynch is ridiculous. But hopefully we're going to be getting the match in full at Extreme Rules, and I think it's going to be a really good match as well. Both women are going to absolutely tear the house down, and but who do I think is going to be winning this match? Becky Lynch is retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship, in my opinion. It's just the most logical thing to do. Have Becky Lynch retain the SmackDown Women's Championship, in my opinion. And Becky Lynch retains the belt this Sunday. We got Roman Reigns, a predictable match, but a match that should be the main event of WrestleMania, that I propose to be the main event of next year's WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor. This match, they wrestled on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. I think it was at Madison Square Garden. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I think it was at Madison Square Garden. I think it was at the Madison Square... No, it wasn't at the Madison Square Garden show. But, these two wrestled last time on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, and both absolutely tore the fucking house down. And keep in mind, this show is called Extreme Rules, and the entire card, besides this match, is an Extreme Rules match. Ringside News actually tweeted this out a couple days ago. Extreme Rules is not really called Extreme Rules. It's called Regular Rules. It's just a generic pay-per-view name. Extreme Rules is not Extreme Rules. It's not extreme at all. If you want to go extreme, watch GCW. That is extreme shit right there. But this show, forget about it. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that is extreme about this show. And the commercials for this show, for Extreme Rules, with chairs, all that shit, ladders, tables, like, It sounds lame, in my opinion, and the fact that this is the only Extreme Rules match on the entire pay-per-view card is ridiculous. But what are my thoughts on this match is that I think this is going to be the best match of the night. Both guys have extremely, and I mean this a lot, really good chemistry when they work in the ring. I mean, if you didn't watch their match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, go check it out. There were times in that match where I thought that Finn Balor was actually going to win the title. And that is saying a lot. And Roman shouldn't lose that title, but, like, still, bro. Like, yo. Like, the match was really good. But let's be straight up here. This match should be the main event of next year's WrestleMania. I always propose this. If you booked the match right, if you booked the match, well, not, I shouldn't say if you booked the match, but if you booked Balor strong for a whole year, for a whole freaking year, build up to the Royal Rumble and just have those small teases. You know, again, he should be your Sting to Roman Reigns' Hollywood Hulk Hogan. In my opinion, the only difference is that WWE does it right. Unlike WCW, in typical WCW fashion, they would mess it up. But, you know, the match, we already saw the match multiple times and all that stuff, but this match is going to be really good in my opinion. But who do I think is going to be winning this Extreme Rules match? The most obvious answer is going to be Roman Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns, period, because he's not losing that title anytime soon, and you don't have a babyface to really dethrone him. Again, Finn Balor should be a guy to dethrone him if you book him right. You have to build momentum when it comes to Finn Balor. But knowing WWE, they're probably not going to do that, and after this match, he's going to be set back to the mid-card. But overall thoughts on this match, Roman Reigns is going to be retaining the Universal Championship, and this is definitely going to be the best match of the entire pay-per-view, if you're watching the pay-per-view. But, yeah, those were my Extreme Rules predictions video. Overall thoughts, I think it's going to be an okay show. Honestly, it's going to be a show that I really don't care about, but I'm still going to watch it and review it. But, yeah, those are my Extreme Rules predictions. That was my Raw review and my Extreme Rules predictions video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, push that bell for notifications. Follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter. And this is Broken Havoc from the Broken Havoc podcast.